guys! It is Monday. That means it is time for Making Food Monday. Yay! Okay, today's recipe is really easy. I've never made it before. I have never tasted it before. It is something international that I've never even thought to taste. And I have no idea if it's actually even Swedish. So I'm gonna ask my Swedish friend, Petra, is Swedish meatballs actually from Sweden? I would love to know the answer to that. My mom gave me this recipe and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try that because we are going with international dishes that we've never tasted before so that we can all taste the same thing at the same time, and nobody has tasted Swedish meatballs before. Now, I'm pretty sure the recipe that I'm trying today is the cheating version. This is not, I would imagine, how it is made in Sweden if it is actually a Swedish dish. However, Swedish meatballs today will be made with cream of mushroom condensed soup, ground thyme, old-fashioned egg noodles, beef bouillon, so beef broth. Sour cream goes in at the very end, and I've got my homemade meatballs that I made the other day. You don't have to use homemade. I'm just using my homemade meatballs because last week was National Meatball Day, and I didn't know that, and Jordan wanted me to make some meatballs. So I went ahead and made the meatballs that I was going to make for this dish anyways. I was just gonna pick them up at Costco, but instead I made them. If you would like to see how I make them, I put all the ingredients that I used in that video. So if you wanna see that, that is the National Meatball Day video that I made last week. It's time to cook. First thing I'm gonna add today is the water. Today I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of water, or 20 ounces is actually what the recipe called for. So I've got the water, and I'm gonna use 2 teaspoons of beef broth powder. Beef bouillon, I don't know, it says beef powder. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of that, and I'm gonna mix it up so that we got beef broth going on. Now I've played in that, I can move on. Next thing I'm gonna put in is my cream of mushroom. Like I said, this is most definitely the cheating way to make Swedish meatballs, I am sure of it. However, I've never had a Swedish meatball, so I don't know if this is pretty close to the genuine recipe or if it's like, yeah, no. So, if anybody knows, tell me. My only hope with this recipe is that it's not so bad that it's offensive to the Swedish, because that would of course defeat the purpose of trying international foods. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up. Okay, I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of thyme. Ain't nobody got time for that. Come on, I know somebody else was thinking that. Okay, teaspoon of thyme. In you go, friend. I don't know that I've ever eaten thyme. Thyme is something that I usually just waste. Ha. Bad joke, sorry. Now, it calls for 12 ounces of noodles, egg noodles, specifically egg noodles, but I don't have 12 ounces, I have 16 ounces. So I'm going to go with it. So mine might be a little bit drier than it should be. Yep, I'm not gonna mix that up because it doesn't want to be mixed. And then right on top of all of that, it says to put 2 pounds of frozen meatballs. I do not have 2 pounds of meatballs. I have 1.5 pounds approximately of meatballs because we sampled a few too many the other day. They smell good. Okay, so there goes my homemade meatballs right on top. And hopefully those will cook nicely with everything else and we should be good. Now, like I said, the recipe called for just a frozen bag of meatballs. So if you don't have homemade meatballs, don't worry about them being homemade. All you need is 2 pounds of any kind of frozen meatballs. So whatever your favorite frozen meatball is, toss that in there. Now comes the hard part, guys. You gotta plug it in. Remember, I always forget that every week. This time I didn't try to use it without turning it on. Plug it in, yay, we have power. Okay, well, put your lid on. Press it down, lock it up, so that your lock and your arrow are together. And then we are going to turn this on. But I'm gonna use this soup stew because that's how I've been doing my noodles, and this is a noodle dish. And I'm gonna bring it down to 17 minutes. and then I'm gonna start it. And in 17 minutes, I will add a half a cup of sour cream and mix it all up, and we should be good to go. So this is a fairly easy recipe for today. Not much to it, so hopefully it comes out good. So my pressure cooker is doing something weird this time. It's never done this before, but I thought I would point out what it's doing in case it does this to you too, and we'll figure out how to fix it together. So my timer has already started, and it's down to 8 minutes. When I look at the top here, my pin has not come completely up, and it's still, you can see that, it's still letting steam off. There it is. It's still letting steam off, so it's not stopping the pressure yet. And I'm not exactly sure why it's not coming all the way to pressure, and I'm not sure why the pressure or the timer is counting down before it has come to pressure. I don't know what's going on here, but when I figure it out and when we see what's going on inside here, we'll figure this out together, and I will tell you what I do to fix it. Okay guys, my timer just went off, and it is still letting steam off. So something is definitely wrong. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the pressure that is in there off, which, yeah, is not much. It did not build the pressure, guys. Let's see what we got going on. And we have uncooked noodles sitting right on top. What in the world, guys? Maybe this sauce got too thick and it wouldn't bring the pressure up because it's too thick. I think we may officially have my very first mess up, guys. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is reach all the way to the bottom in here and pull the noodles off the bottom. I think what has happened is the noodles soaked up the water that I had added, and even though this was a recipe that has worked for someone else, see, the noodles were stuck to the bottom, and I have read that if your noodles or your food of any kind sticks to and burns on the bottom, that you don't have enough liquid in there and it won't cook properly. We'll get Daddy the guinea pig to figure this out. Dad, do a noodle test for me.
Ooh.
Don't throw it on the floor.
It's pretty al dente.
Is it still? Okay. I'm gonna throw half a cup of water. You can see how thick it is in there, and I'm pretty sure that that's what's happened. Remember I told you that I had 16 ounces instead of 12 ounces of pasta, and I'm pretty sure that that extra water that I added just a tiny bit was not enough. So this is completely human error. The recipe is probably fine. You guys will be fine as long as you listen to the recipe and not me. We're gonna add some more water, seal this back up, and see if we can fix it. Okay, so I'm attempting to fix this by adding, it's actually just a little bit more than half a cup. It's about 3/4 a cup. That way the noodles have plenty to soak up because they are still pretty al dente. And then after that, we'll still have enough for a gravy. So now I'm going to seal it back up, which means pop my lid back on. This is the hard part, guys, because when it's hot, it doesn't want to push down very well. So you push that down really well till it sings to you, turn it over, and then I'm going to go back to soup stew. I'm going to time cook it for much less time this time. I'm gonna go 7 minutes this time because it's already cooked the noodles most of the way. They're just a little al dente. So 7 more minutes. That shouldn't take too long to come to pressure because it's still hot in there. So 7 more minutes, we'll see if I have fixed my problem or if we're gonna be having a mistake for dinner. Hopefully we don't have to eat a mistake for dinner, but either way, we're gonna see what Swedish meatballs taste like, whether they're cooked properly or not. Hi dude, you playing outside? You can't open it like that. No matter how hard you try. Dinner's almost done, okay? Okay, go play. Almost, go play. Too hot still, yep, we're still cooking. See ya. You want in here? No. Okay. I see you. You're gonna go play? Bye. Okay guys, I think I have fixed my error. It is now building pressure appropriately. Still letting steam off, but you can hear it building the pressure. Oh, guys, my timer started. And that means that my pressure's not gonna build correctly again. It never did come to pressure, guys. Now I just have to open it and see if the noodles got soft enough to eat them. Everything else was already pre-cooked. I'm not concerned about eating raw food or something that's not cooked properly. The only thing that I'm concerned about is that the noodles might be a little bit more than al dente. Hopefully they're cooked enough that we can eat them, because whatever comes out of here is dinner. Alright, guys. Well, it looks better. The noodles look plumper, cooker. Let's see what the bottom has to say. Yeah, there's that spot from last time. That's not from this time, I don't think. I think that's from last time. And the good thing is it's not burned, it's just a little... What's the right word for that?
Charred.
It's not charred. I'm not asking for him for help anymore.
Overdone?
So much help here. Hey guys, it says to add about half a cup of sour cream at the finish. So there's my approximately half a cup of sour cream. And I had a little bit extra noodles, so I'm gonna add a little bit extra sour cream. So right now, with just the flavor of the noodle that I tasted, I think it's a little heavy on the thyme flavor. But maybe the sour cream will calm it down a bit, so they say. Smells good. Who wants to see what it tastes like? Guinea pigs! These guys are coming down with a little bit of a cold, but she's still trying to be her guinea pig. Snorting. All right, you ready to try this? Are you excited, or do you think this is gonna be meh?
I think this is gonna be good. I think it's. Oh, that's hot.
Hey, careful, that might be hot.
Why didn't you warn me before?
Oh, I thought you, I didn't know it would still be hot.
Oh, that is hot. I'm putting my hand close to it, and it's really hot.
So, what does guinea pig 1 say? Nice!
My fingers are thumbs.
Your fingers are thumbs too. Next up is Nano. He's not feeling so hot, but I'm thinking he could probably taste some food. Ooh, that was a big meatball bite.
A big bite.
So the meatball's good.
Three hours later.
1,500 million hours later.
Is it good with the noodles? Yeah? Are the noodles chewy or are they good?
They're really chewy. I love them.
Oh, really chewy, and he loves them. Okay. All right, guinea pig number 3.
Then
Let's
take.
see.
That with the noodles. The sour cream definitely brought down the
The
extra time.
Because you never have too much time.
But no, it's good.
What are you, the Swedish chef? I kind of felt a bit like the Swedish chef today, fumbling around in the kitchen.
Yes.
It wasn't that bad. I fixed it-ish. It never did come to pressure, but apparently it is edible, so if you guys have issues,
The gravy.
it's fixable. So this is a lesson for all of you out there who are intimidated about the kitchen and have to have things just the right way. Because even if you do things the right way and you mess it up, it's fixable. Almost everything in the kitchen is fixable. The only thing I haven't figured out how to fix yet is when you completely burn it. And then you have to toss it out and start over. So avoid burning, otherwise you can fix it. Mia, you still have your dessert on your mouth. Look, you look like you have a mustache. Mia has a chocolate mustache. I guess if you had dessert, that means you ate all your dinner, though, so it must have been good, huh?
Oh yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, Nano said it was his favorite pressure cooker meal yet.
Yes.
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 Hi, baby.
Well, if I
Photobomb.
can't vote for myself, well, this was my second favorite.
Yeah, the buffalo chicken was really good, and that's his favorite, but he made that himself. So he says if he can't vote for himself, that he likes the Swedish meatballs the second best, right?
Yep.
And even though Mom made a little bit of a mistake and had to fix it, everything turned out just fine, and it was tasty, right?
Oh yeah, it was delicious. Yum. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Just down, share with friends. Good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. Subscribe. Burgers Bergen.